Okay, I'm going to talk about the coral snake first.
Oh, it's a snake. Okay, I thought you said cereal shake.
You thought that said cereal shake?
I couldn't tell. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Coral snake.
Okay.
Welcome to the Leah and Lee Show podcast. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us on YouTube at World of Wilsons. Our podcast, The Leah and Lee Show, is posted there. And you can listen to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, yada, yada. Our wrestling podcast will be posted every Tuesday, and our regular podcast where we talk about all kinds of stuff will be posted every Thursday. Let's get into it. Coke Zero. No sugar. Plenty of aspartame, though. So we've decided to die by cancer instead of diabetes. I won't do welcome again. Just welcome. Welcome to the Leah and Lee Show podcast. This is one of our regular episodes where we just talk about this and that and everything. So, we had some excitement. What was it, a week ago?
The snake?
Yeah, when we all almost died.
We didn't almost die.
This household, which is me, him, our daughter, and our dog, we were fighting for our lives for like an hour.
I thought it was fun.
Granted, the snake was not even in the house. It was outside, but it was in our pool.
It was stuck in the pool. It was not getting out. It tried, but it couldn't get out.
It almost did once. So it was in our enclosure because the pool is here in Florida. Almost every house has a pool for some reason, which doesn't make any sense to me.
It's hot. People want pools.
It still doesn't make any sense because you're still hot. Unless you have a cover that shades you from the sun, which most people don't, you're still having the direct sunlight barreling down on your flesh, cooking you in a pool.
Yeah, but the water keeps you cool. You're going to sunburn, but at least the water's going to keep you cool. Well,
while your head looks like a tomato.
Also, though, it does suck when the pool gets to like 103 degrees.
Yeah, the pools.
That does suck.
Pools heat up.
For a while, the water does get hotter than it is actually outside. That time of the year sucks, which is always the hottest part of the year.
May, June, July, August.
July and August.
September and part of October.
No, it's not that hot all the time. It's maybe July and August. The rest of the year, it's fine.
Did we mention it was a coral snake? That it was a venomous...
The most venomous.
Well, the most venomous compared to what, in Florida?
In Florida, the most venomous snake. It's not the most dangerous, but it is the most venomous.
What else do we have?
A couple of rattlesnakes, water moccasins.
It was the water moccasins I was thinking. Isn't a cottonmouth or
cottonmouth and a water moccasin are the same thing.
They're not more poisonous than the coral snake?
No, they give you more poison when they bite you because they're, bigger. But if you get bit by a coral snake, the poison itself is more dangerous. And there's not a shot or whatever you call it, antidote, antivenom.
Antivenom.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah,
one.
You're supposed to go immediately to the hospital if you get bit, but they don't have any antivenom there. A couple places do, so it would have to transport.
You have to go to Ocala, I think, is where the only spot where there's.
I saw online because I looked it up. Ocala supposedly has antivenom, but so it would have to be transported to wherever else you are. Yeah, so we had a coral snake in our pool. I think you saw it. Now our daughter takes our golden retriever past the pool to the grass area to go to the bathroom in the morning, so she may have walked by. Her and the dog may have walked by while
she might have let it in.
Oh my God. He was calling places to come and pick it up. One place said they don't do snakes, right?
I didn't have anything I could grab it with to get rid of it. That's the reason why. And make sure that's clear because I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's true.
If it had been any other snake, I would have just reached in there and got them and tossed them out. We don't have a pool net because the pool guy takes care of that. And I didn't have anything with a claw to grab it with, but I do now. So next time we get a coral snake or a rattlesnake or whatever in our pool, I've got the tool to get rid of it. So
the snake was irritated, and coral snakes are known to be non-aggressive. So that's the plus. So normally if they're just in the grass chilling, most likely it won't even strike. I mean, don't be stupid.
And fortunately, the pool guy showed up, so we used his net to get it out, and it bit the hell out of the net. Tried to, anyway.
Yeah, because it says when they're like annoyed or feel threatened, then they'll bite. And clearly that snake, I mean, we don't even know how long the snake had been in the pool. Probably it could have been all night. It could have been just that morning.
It was on the verge of drowning.
But it was freaking out.
Because it kept like coiling up and just floating and drifting around the pool like it was giving up. And then it would kind of try again. Then it would stop, and then it would try and float around for a while. So it was either like catching its breath or it was on the verge of drowning.
A couple times we thought it was dead. And then we found out it was not, because then it would go because it would just sort of float. And then all of a sudden it would get going again and try to get out. Very next day, he bought a snake grabber from from are they called snake grabbers? I don't know.
Snake tool, I guess.
Yeah, from Amazon. So if it ever happens again, he can get it out, wherever a snake is. Be nice if it never happens again.
Well, honestly. The next day we had a black racer in the front yard.
Well, those are harmless.
Yeah, I chased it, but I couldn't catch it. It was fast.
I don't care for snakes, period. And now if they're poisonous, then I'm freaking out. We've lived here 4 years, and I think that's our first encounter with a poisonous snake.
With a poisonous one, yeah.
So, yes, that is the story of how we all almost died last week.
We were fine.
We were fighting for our lives. Real quick, we can mention the pool guy who, he came and saved us, but then he released it right across the street in the grass, right, like directly across the street from our house.
It's not coming back, but it didn't make sense why he put it across the street in somebody else's yard.
Why wouldn't it?
When 50 yards that way, he could have taken it to the woods.
Behind our house, there's lots of woods, lots of just trees and no houses.
I would have just tossed it behind the house in the woods. He took it and put it in the yard in front of us. I have the tools, so we'll do it right next time. I'll take it off to the woods.
Anywho, you know what I've been craving is a peanut butter and Dorito cheese nacho. A peanut butter and cheese Dorito nachos? Cheese?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but it sounds disgusting.
A peanut butter and Dorito nacho cheese sandwich. Like, bread, peanut butter.
I get the concept.
Doritos nacho cheese flavor, another piece of bread. I've eaten that once since we've been in a marriage. You don't remember me eating?
No.
You don't remember me making that sandwich?
Did I talk shit then?
If you did, I blocked it out. I completely blocked it.
That sounds disgusting.
It's phenomenal. Delicious.
Alrighty then.
I've been craving, and we've been, trying to be healthy. We've actually been trying to do keto. We haven't super been successful the last week or so. We had been successful before doing keto. We're trying it again, but I have really been craving. I do have a recipe for keto bread, which I still need to make. So maybe then. Oh, but then the Doritos aren't keto. It'll just have to be a treat on a cheat day. On a cheat day, I need to have that. Isn't there like a weird food that you like that other people go, oh, what the?
I don't know if it's weird.
What the hell?
You gripe about it, but me and Faith eat the tuna on the the tortilla chips with a slice of salami.
I don't know that I complain about it. I just don't understand it.
I don't know. It's good. It's real good.
Tortilla chip salami with tuna on top.
Mm-hmm. The way I learned how to make it was you take the can of tuna, you mix in a can of, corn, carrots, green bean, whatever, the vegetable cans, some mayonnaise, some salt.
Wait, what do you put in it?
A can of like mixed vegetables.
Like peas and carrots?
Oh, I don't want the peas, but the other stuff. Yeah. You mix it in there with some mayonnaise and salt and pepper, and then you put it on a tostada, and then you put some salami slices on top of that.
So you originally ate it in tostada form.
Yeah. It's better than Doritos and peanut butter.
Dude, don't even talk until you try it. At least I tried that.
I mean, other than that, like maybe menudo or macaroni and tomatoes.
A lot of people like menudo, though. I like menudo. When you've made it, he makes really good menudo and really good pozole. I'd love some pozole soon.
I make really good Mexican food because we live somewhere where the Mexican food is terrible.
The Mexican food in Florida, no bueno, as they say. It's not good. It is so hard. We've recently found one place
in 700 restaurants around here that claim they're Mexican food.
That seems pretty authentic. It's been absolute trash here in Florida, at least in Central Florida.
The Cuban food and the Puerto Rican food's good.
When I was younger, living in California, the canned menudo too. I can't remember what the brand was, but
yeah, there's a bunch of
them. There was
Juanita's is the one that most common one.
Yeah, there was one brand though that I always bought, and it was just that one brand.
It's not bad. You got to doctor it up with like lime juice and onions and stuff, but
I don't even think I did anything to it. I just heat it up and eat it.
Other than that, I like mac and tomatoes. You cry every time I make that.
Okay, well, when you hear mac, which is elbow macaroni and tomatoes, when you hear that, you're like, oh, that's not weird, but that's all it is. And he loves it. It's just tomatoes and elbow macaroni with bacon grease, I think you put in it, right?
Yeah, you start with bacon grease. You add a bunch of different tomato products.
It's just tomato and elbow macaroni. Like, it's not even sauce. To me,
it's like two steps from spaghetti.
I don't even taste the bacon. So, like, to me,
well, you're not supposed to taste the bacon. The bacon just brings it all together.
To me, there's no flavor. It tastes like nothing.
It's amazing.
It's like eating plain ass elbow macaroni. And he'll make that for dinner, and I'm just like, I'll just have a bowl of cereal.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
It's just so you don't have any weird combos.
Not that I can think of. I mean, I like raw hot dogs.
Okay.
I like raw potatoes.
Raw? You're not supposed to eat raw potatoes.
Yeah, you peel them and slice them up. They're fine.
I've never seen you do that either.
If I'm cutting up a potato, I'll toss one in my mouth and eat it.
We've been together 8 years, and I have not once.
Well, yeah, it's not like I peel a potato and sit down on the couch with a fork and eat it.
Eat a raw potato. Do you know I had an uncle, my Uncle James, he would eat onions like apples.
Yeah, good onion you can. Good red onion.
Like, how is your throat not on
a good red
fire?
Onion is actually sweet. It's got to be a red onion, otherwise it just doesn't taste that good. But I mean, a good red onion.
I honestly don't remember what.
Now, my dad used to grow them in the garden. You yank them right out of the ground, peel them, and eat them. They're actually really sweet. Not like sugary sweet, but sweet enough.
Damn, it doesn't burn going down your throat.
Mm-mm. Not a good one. Fun fact, though. Did you know that Disney invented the Dorito?
No.
Yeah. Disney is the original creator of the Doritos.
Should we look that? Are you sure?
Look it up at Disneyland in Frontierland, I believe, in California Disneyland. There's a little Mexican restaurant as you come into Frontierland, and they were trying to make a like a nacho plate or something of this. I can't remember the exact story or what it was, but in the process, they invented Doritos. So the original Doritos were invented at Disney, and how Pepsi ended up with them and all that, I don't remember, but Doritos were invented at Disneyland back in the 60s or so.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What else is going on? Oh, we did do a family adventure a few days ago.
When we went to the sugar mill? Yeah,
we did. It was like a whole day. We mapped out the whole day.
We went to
the Dunlawton
Sugar Mill ruins. Apparently, once upon a time, a place called Bongoland with dinosaurs and not with statues of dinosaurs. I guess it was like a kid's place or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went defunct, and then somebody took it over and turned it into a botanical garden. And then the sugar mill's inside there, kind of in a protected area.
Yeah, the sugar mill ruins is inside the botanical gardens. If you Google Bongoland, it'll come up. There, like the plaques on the place and the map, it says Dunlawton.
Well, the town it's in is in Dunlawton. So the sugar mill was there back in the mid 1800s.
It was built in 1830.
Until like the late.
I can't remember when it closed.
Anyway,
probably early 1900s.
It was a sugar mill where they would burn the reeds down and grind everything up and all of that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a really neat place. It was hot, unfortunately, on this during the summer here in July in Florida, but it was still really neat, and it costs nothing. You can
make a donation.
It's technically free, but they do appreciate donations because that's how they keep the grounds up.
How they maintained.
Yeah.
The sugar mill and they built a boardwalk to walk around it so you could look down in everything. The botanical gardens. They had some cement dinosaurs kind of randomly around. Then there was that tree with all the gnomes called the gnome home,
which was really cute. Yeah. There's this whole tree, and it's a big home for a bunch of little gnomes. And then there's the trail that scared the crap out of me. There's a nature trail, which I started to have some anxieties in the nature trail because I was,
she was afraid of poison ivy.
I was afraid of nature jumping out of the bushes and the trees and attacking us. FYI, I do have an actual anxiety disorder. So, my brain, it does these things. It comes up with stuff. And I was having a legit little attack. I was like, when's this trail end? Let's get back out into the open. For those of you who enjoy nature trails, it would be quite lovely. If you're ever in that area, it's definitely a neat thing to do.
There's another sugar mill a little bit closer to New Smyrna Beach we should go check out sometime.
Yeah, that had been on my list, but we chose to go to a cemetery instead. The other sugar mill, when you look it up, it is known to be haunted.
Oh boy.
I don't actually believe, that it's just fun.
No such thing as ghosts.
I'm a Halloween girl. I'm a spooky girl. The history of things is fun.
All that means is there's a story.
Yeah.
And stories are fun. But instead of going to that, we went to a cemetery in Geneva that's been around since the 1800s. There were some graves there that were so old and worn out, you could not tell what they said.
It was like 1850s and on, I think, or 1840s and on.
The reason we went there is for one particular person that's buried there.
Powell.
Lewis Thornton Powell. Yeah.
Lewis
Thornton
Powell, who was one of one of the conspirators of the Abraham Lincoln assassination. He conspired with
John Wilkes Booth. Apparently he was the brains behind the operation, and John Wilkes Booth is just the one that did it.
He was also the most violent conspirator.
Yeah.
And
he also conspired to kill a senator at the same time. That didn't happen, though, I don't believe, right?
Right. He broke into the guy's... He did beat him.
But he didn't kill him.
He broke into the guy's house, beat him, and then he harmed some other people that were in the house, but no one died. He survived, and the other people survived. He ran from the police, but he was eventually caught. Hung.
Hung?
He was hung.
Oh, okay, he was hung. And they planted his body somewhere in Washington, D.C. And then for some reason, the Smithsonian decided they wanted his head.
Yeah, his skull had been at this...
His skull had been at the Smithsonian for years and years.
Yeah, his skull had been at the Smithsonian Museum for quite a while on display. And then they decided to give it up. And they
got bored with it and decided to ship it on down here to Florida. And they gave his head, not his body, his head, its own grave next to his mama.
The cemetery itself is just called the Geneva
Cemetery in Geneva, Florida.
And it's just his skull that's buried there. His body is apparently still somewhere in Washington D.C. They said the information I found said that it's either in an unmarked grave or in a mass grave. It did take us a long time to find the grave. It took us about 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for an old grave.
Well, the instructions I had said that it was in the front, when really it was like in the middle.
Yeah. and I don't know if somebody stole his old grave or if it rotted or whatever. But
yeah, because
it was almost brand new
plaque in the ground. It was like brand new looking plaque in the ground.
It was a military headstone because he was a Confederate soldier. So
yeah, there's nothing that would tell you that is a grave of any historical significance in any way, shape, or form.
Same markings I would get on my headstone if we did a military burial for me.
And then his mom is right, I guess you'd say, in front of him.
I guess putting "Here Lies an Asshole" on a headstone is probably not a good idea.
I'll actually put a picture up because he was also known to be good looking. He was like well known and there was interest in him because he was a good looking bad guy. You know how the world do. To me, he's not even that great looking. He seems very like a little tiny weenie looking guy to me. You know, whatever. I guess maybe at the time. Well, even look at how people have romanticized
Scott Peterson.
You know, the couple who shouldn't really be
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. How Bonnie and Clyde were romanticized when they were cold-blooded killers.
Really bad.
But we've romanticized them, made movies about them, and it's kind of, when you really sit and think about it, you're like, but they weren't like these two lovers like fighting against a system or anything. They were cold-blooded murderers. Killed
cops just because they were cops.
For money.
Yeah. Robbed banks, killed everybody in their way. And she wasn't just along for the ride either. She killed a lot of people too. She was just as bad as he was.
She was cuckoo magoo. That was our little adventure. We love the historical stuff. We'll go do stuff just for the history and stories of, you know, the area or whatever.
Yeah, we've been to several Civil War battlegrounds. I've been to Pearl Harbor, Graceland. I guess that counts as historical.
Yeah, Graceland was fun. He took me to Graceland once.
Been there several times.
I think everyone should do a trip to Graceland at least once.
Yeah.
I was Googling basically stuff for us to do because we live near the theme parks, but we don't want to do the theme parks all the time for our little family outings. So I was just trying to find other things to do, and we love historical stuff, and I just randomly found that. I was like, what? The skull of a conspirator of the Abraham Lincoln assassination is like an hour away from us? Like, so I was like, let's go.
We found Bob Ross's grave one time too. He's buried half an hour from us.
And some other, like, this isn't history, this is current. Some current crazy news that I saw the other day was that the government is planning on dropping flies. I don't know what specific states. It just said the southern U.S., which is us, which is Florida, to combat flesh-eating maggots that are supposed to be hatching soon in the southern part of the country. Now, my personal feeling is that I would rather have an alien invasion than think about A, flesh-eating maggots are about to hatch along the southern U.S., and B, that the government is going to drop millions of flies that are supposed to then attack and kill those maggots.
Well, no, the maggots are going to be born. I guess they're, what are they, buried in the dirt or something like that? They come around every so often.
I would assume. I hope they're not.
They're going to turn into flies though, and they're going to drop male flies that are shooting blanks apparently, to mate with those flies so that they mate and they die, and then there's no more larvae. It makes sense, kind of. You're gonna send them a bunch of dudes and to hook up with, and then but that are shooting blanks, so you can't have more. But it's, I don't know, it's weird. But they said they did it back in the 60s when it happened before, and it worked.
Oh, did it happen before?
Yeah, apparently it happened like in the 60s or 70s, and they did this. They're just doing what they did then because it worked.
Yeah, so they're flesh-eating maggots, and they don't feed on dead things, though. The big problem with them is that they feed on living animals, your livestock, possibly pets, it said, and it mentioned in rare cases, even humans. Oh.
I want to know who neutered all the flies. I'm sure they breed them that way, but still.
Or like somehow.
And then how do they distinguish like the males from the females?
Wasn't there
they're only
something
dropping
to do with
males.
radiation? I can't remember if
Do
I
they
read
nuke
something
them or
about
something?
maybe. I don't know. That's not facts. I'm just spitballing.
That's what they do with the mosquitoes too, though.
Like, what in the apocalypse revelation hell is that?
You know it's going to be here in Florida because this is Florida. This is where all the weird shit happens. You know what I just realized? I look at that camera every now and then, but I also keep looking at that one. It's not even on. Why is it sitting there?
Because I just put it there. I just have it sitting there.
Well,
it's not on.
I've been making a lot of eye contact with that, so when I'm switching back and forth, that's why. She put another camera in front of me that's pointed at me, and it's not even on.
In podcasts, eye contact doesn't really matter. I mean, how many times do you see Joe Rogan looking in the camera?
True.
0.
Yeah.
0, my friend.
Seacrest out?
So stupid. Please like, subscribe. I hate, I don't like asking people, but you know what? If you enjoyed this,
you know the routine.
If you want to see these weird people and listen to these weird people, just, like, subscribe, follow.
Turn the notifications on.